Russian senator wants to exterminate 25 million Russians. What? Jeg må følge med på begynner klokka 9 da, ta follow. Skjer mye rart I Russland også, fy faen.
Ja. Krise der.
$327 followers på YouTube. Jo. Økte I dag også. Det var en fra Brasil som hadde drevet og sett på at jeg kjørte hjemme fra jobben. Det var så fin natur her. Det er akkurat så veldig fint for meg å kjøre hjem fra E6-en. Hvis man vant til å favelaen og de tette folk av stedene, så er det vel pent, vet ikke.
Har du på BlizzCon?
Hva?
Har du på BlizzCon I bakgrunnen?
Nei. Har du?
Ja, bare sånn for å følge med på shitshowet.
Don't you have mobiles? Ja, vel.
Satser hardt på Rumble, altså.
Ja, hva det for noe?
Det det der nye mobilspillet deres.
Ja.
Basically en simplifisert versjon av HOTS, tror jeg.
Ja. Jeg digger HOTS, eller digger HOTS.
Ja, jo. Selv om jeg ikke har spilt det på dritlenge, så liker jeg spillet.
Altså, da det 6,7. Jeg ferdig med å installere. Når jeg ferdig med å installere Linux, så kan jeg ta og spille I VR igjen.
Hvor mye sølv har du nå?
118 000.
Satt deg som leder, så prøver I hvert fall. What the fuck? Sånn, ja. Startet du nå, eller?
Ja.
Ok. Kjører sørover. Mye ammo det du laster I tanken din da?
Jeg har 22 av det første skuddet, 8 av andre og 7 av tredje. Jeg føler at jeg overlever ikke så lenge til å bruke opp alt.
Nei, jeg pleier å ha 20-25 skudd til sammen.
Okay.
Blir det mindre ammo-racks.
Ja. Ja, det sjeldent skjer på meg. Det bare det at crewet dør som regel. Å, fy faen, jeg føler meg blind når jeg spiller med vanlig skjerm. Fordi alt blir så mye tettere når jeg bruker VR, så når jeg da bruker gunnerscope, og så zoomer enda nærmere, så kommer det dritnærme, så jeg ser jævlig bra. Det en tanks der. Ikke stå midt I veien, alle smarting, og sviser I sidearmeren din.
Mid-shield.
Jeg fikk en. Men faen, hvorfor skjøt ikke han da? Han var så på nå. Det console player? Ja, det det. Nei. Jo, han console player, ja, da skjønner jeg det. prøvd World of Tanks på konsoll, da. Helt jævlig å styre med sånn. Kommer den der. Hva faen da? Klarte jeg ikke pennen? Helvete! Hva faen så dårlig pennen er på den dritten her da? Da trenger jeg fra siden her, tror jeg. Faen, alle du har teammates daua jo.
Ja.
Ja, det er en bra posisjon nå. Verdammt!
Sørger for at du ikke blir stående alene, vet du.
Ja, følg etter deg, så kan vi prøve å backe hverandre.
Det blir litt omringet her.
Den her er stokk nesten av den tanksen her. Trekk. Jeg har lyst til å, etter at jeg låser opp mousen, så har jeg lyst til å spille mer Israel, sånn at jeg låser opp den der franske
pennene. Så tar vi.
Det er så urettferdig, ass. IS-3 at vi møter dem, ass.
IS-4.
Er det det?
Jeg er ikke...
Den er jo... Ja,
Da sjekker jeg BR-en på den etterpå.
hvis de må forandre den. Ja, fordi Panther A, den har 192 penn. Ja. Tiger 2H, den premiumen har 237.
Nå er jeg tom.
Det er vel hvert øyeblikk. Jeg får ikke penna, det. Eller han skjøt meg ikke. Kanskje gunneren også var skadet.
Så... IS-4... Den er 7,7.
Ok, ja, så den er 1 over bare.
Ja.
Ja, Tore vet sikkert hvor det er best å skyte den. Hvis man ikke treffer weak pointet da, på toppen av Commander Hatchen.
Ja, den må i hvert fall komme fra siden.
Altså, improved fire protection er kanskje lurt å ha. Adjustment of fire er kanskje bedre først.
Kommer Cataclysm til Grassflus nå. Classic.
Ja, slipper dem alt. Klarer ikke å finne på noe nytt, siden han Chris Metzen dro, så da måtte det være spyt. Og så var det den tyskeren het... Hva het det? Hvilken premium var det Tore snakket om? Den, ja. Jagdpanter G1. Og det er jo sikkert jævlig morsom da, sånn den er ganske lav. Og så er den skikkelig relativt rask også.
Ja. Season of Discovery er noe nytt nå. Classic.
Jaha.
Det er lagt til det er en sånn mod på en privatserver hvor du kan ha en klasse med andre klasser sine sånne abilities. Kjøre mot C.
Aufstehen! Und bereit machen für Feindkontakt! Ja, machen zum Gefecht! Kraftfahrer bereit! Bist du bereit? Nachricht ist bereit!
Hva mente du nå? At man kan spille som paladin med hunter skills?
Ja.
Det hørtes merkelig ut. Eller Leon Hands som Warlock.
Sikkert med begrensninger her og der.
Ja, det vil jeg håpe.
Den moden er jo stort sett helt fri, så vidt jeg vet. Jeg vil lage en egen klasse. Warlock med invisibility.
Schneller!
Prøver å kjøre helt til red line og snipe. Nei, sorry. Så ikke han, jeg. Jeg kjørte på en fyr. Da kommer det tanks her hvor jeg er da. Og så han er på høyre siden min.
Ja, her kommer Chris Metzen.
Fuck, så bounce han. Det er 2 tanks rett ved meg.
Jeg er på høyre siden av det da.
Og på høyre siden så er jeg under brua der borte, som kommer.
Ser du noe smoke? Og så på høyre siden så tar jeg han som er der. Ja, greit.
Jo, han kommer opp bakken her nå. Det er Sherman.
Flytt han. Han klart å skyte.
What?
Kommer en...
Er det fly som tok meg? Nei. Yes. En IK5 et eller annet. Den der 6-12 hjuls. Nei.
Satan, jeg ble breachet.
Need cover! Enemy forces have captured the zone. Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close. Gunfire, hold out. Mouth. Suspect, hold out march.
Panther-tanksen blir veldig bra etter hvert, er det ikke det? Er det de som liksom blir til Leopard senere? I helvete er det der for noe, tanksen? Den må jeg kjøre bort og se på. Bekan 1C? Fy faen. Den kjører kanonen da. Du vil se det som der Warhammer-tanks, ja. What the fuck? Bekan 1C. Cool.
Gotcha.
Returning to the base. Attention to the designated grid square. Destroy hostile base. A little more effort, and victory will be ours. Fahrer, schnell! Maschinengewehr geladen.
Maschinengewehr geladen.
Schneller.
Der.
Der var det tanks.
Panzergranate geladen.
Ah, fuck. Han jævlen igjen, ass. IK54, den jævla... Det er sånn rank 7, et eller annet, det er da sikkert. Den er sånn der superrask.
Vestdamen. Kommer det flere sørvest? Det der.
Ja, du...
Ja, jeg bomber dem, ja.
Defend the B point.
Attention to the map. Attention to the designated grid square. Somebody cover me! Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Så jeg treffer noen da.
Og se hva de har siktet på.
To the designated grid
Se.
square. Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Her er den. Yay, 2.
Nice.
Bravo!
Bilder dem her da.
Attack the A point. Yes!
Oi, lol. Hva skjedde der, da? Hæ? Kom den der nå?
Jeg tror jeg kanskje kom ned i 3. Kunne ikke se det selv da.
Nei, ikke jeg heller.
Fløy jeg som en gærning også, altså. Begynner opp da. Nice. Se da, hvor de er da.
Her ser jeg 2. Eller skal du prøve deg på B? Det er vel kanskje ikke noe vits.
Jeg bare så...
Og du slapp bomma da? Ja. Ja, du er 1 igjen.
Ja.
Og da ser du anti-airen.
Nei.
Han skyter mot deg.
Nei.
Har du siktet på en annen?
Jeg er bommet på.
Du går til hangar og så sjekker... Nå fikk jeg spent 10 hours in a battle. Er de lagt i achievements nydelig? Jeg har jo 500 timer i spillet her.
Ja, og innenfor. Faen, Palme, hva?
Og så kjøpt gull til det flyet. Sånn. What? 7,7? Er det du som har noe høyt, kanskje?
Se om det gikk nå, da. Jeg tror ikke jeg har noe 7,7. Faen, jeg bomma igjen. Ready. Det er ikke 7,7 her.
Nei, jeg vet ikke hvorfor det sto det i stad, men... Kanskje fordi jeg var alene. Er det da? Ikke hos meg. Nå står det 6,7.
Ja, nå endret jeg det sånn.
Hvor skal vi starte da? Da var det da... Ja, det var sånn defend mission der, ser det ut som.
Aufsitzen! Los, los, los! Klarmachen zum Gefecht. Kraftfahrer bereit. Kämpfstütze bereit. Nachrichten bereit.
Kjører helt på siden av kartet, så om jeg ser noe derfra. What? Mouse? Ja. Ja.
Jeg vil ikke si at vi er flere igjen.
Ja.
Det er jævlig langt til venstre her.
Den der raske jævelen.
Nei, flere.
Åh, traff nesten, ja.
Panzergranate geladen. Panzergranate geladen.
Pass da er jo til venstre der også.
Er det venstre på meg?
Ja, han daua.
Ja, han er skjøyt.
Ja.
Over. Wow. Schneller.
Har du sjekket hvor mange meter det er ned dit, eller?
Ja, 1000. Men nå hadde jeg skutt fra andre siden. Så kommer jeg på venstre siden. Ser du?
Ja, men jeg ble skutt fra høyre, ja.
Nei. Han på venstre siden må vi ta etter hvert.
Panzergranate geladen.
700 meter rundt.
the fuck med bombefly? En bombe som faller. Kommer han hit? Nei. Enda en slem, retning 11.
Jeg peker på den, da.
Jeg gjorde det.
Attack the A point.
Attention to the designated grid square.
1000 meter.
Altså, hvor var den igjen? Oi, da kommer det en til. Oi, nice.
Panzergranate geladen.
Oi, det er fine på høyre siden vår, ja.
1000 meter unna.
Panzergranate geladen. Ziel beschädigt! Ziel ausgeschaltet!
Det er en
Panzergranate
pinne
geladen.
der på.
Jeg traff den. Balsa.
Ziel beschädigt!
Han stakk inn. Og en til der.
Panzergranate geladen.
Eller var det en annen? Ja, han stakk han.
Nei, han var der, da.
Affirmative.
Wir wurden getroffen.
Jeg traff med tracksa.
Er det noen på venstre siden nå, eller?
Oi, det var rakett da. Det var en army, ja.
Ja, du passer ikke på venstre siden i det hele tatt?
Nei.
Ok. Det må røre, vet du.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Har du livet fortsatt? Ja, nå kommer jeg med bombefly. Ja, ok. Jeg tror det var på bakken.
På venstre siden så er det noen. Jeg tror du ser dem ganske lett. Cirka der borte.
Ja, det er folk som spotter dem, så. Prøv å ta det i midten her.
Attention to the map.
Er du i tanks igjen?
Jeg har vært tanks hele tiden.
Jeg trodde det var i fly.
Jeg lurte på om du var i fly.
Ja, det er det. Oi, ble jeg skutt?
Nå er jeg back.
Du er dau? Ja, ja, sånn. Jeg har en tanks igjen, ja.
Ble jeg skutt. Hvor ble jeg skutt fra?
Attack the A point.
Hvorfra?
Attention to the map. We're winning.
Lever du ennå, eller?
Ja, jeg driver og ser etter folk på høyre siden.
Attention to the designated grid square.
Kom med raketter, ja.
Der er det en.
Target for airstrike.
Han var i steinrøysa der.
Som heter Breda. Nei, det er et fly som heter Breda.
Ja, italiensk, det tror jeg.
Lever han ennå, han som du pekte på? Da pekte på den en gang til.
Han var liksom bak, jeg tror han er på andre siden av fjellet der hvor jeg står.
Ok. Det er en som kjører rett foran fjellet da. Nei, jeg ser den. I rommet. Jeg ble gitt da.
Ja.
Radfahrer, rückwärts, Marsch! Rückwärts, Marsch!
Hva er det som skjøt mot meg da? Han bomma.
Den en sur fyr.
Energiegeladen! Attention to the map!
Ja, jeg skjøt av halen på den, nice.
Attention to the map! Maschinengewehr geladen! Panzergranate geladen!
Du er teppa av flyet.
Å lande der. Går det? Og da må jeg kjøre bort og se, altså.
Hvis det er trygt, altså.
Men da vinner vi fort sikkert, hvis vi klarer å cappe den.
Er det noen å peke på?
Jeg kan ikke se noen. Vi har jo en scout da, som står i midten av kartet. Han driver jo og peker på ting. Skal prøve å kjøre opp på fjellet og...
Jeg besluttet en annen fjell.
Fikk du noe kills med å fly nå?
Vi har 6 stykker igjen. Det er en HA.
Jeg ble tatt av en P8-bombe. Evil Google. Ja, folk finner på morsomme navn her.
Her vant vi.
Ja.
Hvordan da?
Nei, vi drepte dem vel da.
Nei, det var flere igjen.
Lol. Kanskje det er livet? 7000 convertible RP. Er det...
Ja, skal bare si natt, da.
Ja.
Back.
Ja.
Vi har det igjen nå.
Skal se, hva var det jo panter og... Nei, ikke... Jeg har igjen 3387 av 27.
23 000, ja. Nei.
4000 cirka, da.
Ok. 2 kamper til.
Du faen, det går fort.
Lønner seg med premium. Utfordringen spesielt for deg, hvis du ikke har premium, er jo at repair-kosten er jo fortsatt den samme.
Ja.
Du får halvparten så mye sølv. Aner ikke hva jeg skal gjøre.
Bare gå til... Begynne på toeren, og så går vi nedover.
Aufsitzen! Bereit machen für Feindkontakt! Klar machen zum Gefecht! Kraftfahrer bereit! Funkkiste bereit! Ladekiste bereit! Kraftfahrer, langsamer! to the designated grid square. Attention to the map. Schneller. Langsamer.
Glad ikke ha vakt nå, da er en jobb I Sørumsand og så en I Drammen.
Spiller den samme videoen kommer nå med på Discord.
Fahrer, Marsch, Marsch! Vorwärts, Marsch! Verstanden! Vorwärts, Marsch! Attention to the map. Ziel beschädigt! Marsch, Marsch! Panzergranate geladen.
Hva var det nå? Jeg bare stoppet opp, og så ble ting rødt inni da.
Legg.
Ble skutt uten å få noe tegn på det. Pek på den igjen.
Han syk av...
Ziel zerstört!
Har du tok ut?
Ja.
Panzergranate geladen.
Flere opp mot høyre, eller?
Ikke ennå, men det kan være.
Kraftfahrer, vorwärts, Marsch! The enemy is winning.
Det som er på høyre flanken her, enda lenger ut enn det er.
Det er ikke hvor du hører dem.
Jeg bare så et fly som skjøt ned på bakken
Bra.
til høyre for det jeg var.
Der ble
Sånn
jeg
retning
Ja, det er
E1.
rett ved meg her.
Se, hvor er det du? Jeg så ikke hvor du var. Jeg. Det var bak meg, liksom.
Jeg var til venstre for deg.
Oppe i byen.
Ja. Et eller annet sted der.
Å, hun vant. Nei. Blind Hunt has finished, var det bare. Kult. Og der ser jeg hvor du da var, ja.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
Kødder du med meg? Hvordan klarte han å skade kanonen der, da? Random, da. Det var helt fin ut, da. Nå må jeg på do, ja.
Attention to the map!
Nei, jeg taper. Det er ingen som pusher.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win. Enemy forces have captured the zone.
Fikk 3000 exp, eller for det. Lol.
Jesus. Reklamen for Overwatch er girl power-greier hvor de driver og danser og sånn.
Jeg må bare fikse noe på serveren, bare skifte IP-adresse på den, så kan jeg starte installasjonen.
Step aside. You don't know who you're messing with.
Faen er det de viser der, da? Er det et nytt spill som skal komme?
Hvor da?
Jeg ser på Twitch nå, ja.
Twitch?
Jeg blir sølgreia.
Ah,
Cowboy... Kobolds?
We did it. No.
Oh, nuts. As it turned out, I had the right backup waiting for me. Just when I needed it.
Let's do this.
You got it, partner.
I didn't intentionally pursue leadership.
ja.
I'm gonna punch ya!
Candle mudslider.
Her har vi en fordelsut her.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Let's show these fine folks some Badland hospitality.
Well, looking for a standoff? Careful, it's against me.
Aufsitzheim! Erreichbar! Feindkontakt! Gefechtsbereitschaft herstellen!
Followers only chat.
Schütze bereit!
Bøkken er der allerede.
Faen så mye reklame på den kanalen, da. Da var det mange.
Langsamer.
BlizzCon 2023 would like to thank our partners. Omen, Game Life. Xbox, power your dreams. Mountain Dew Game Fuel Mystic Punch. Redeem points for gaming rewards and exclusive items in Diablo 4. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 40 series and NVIDIA Reflex, the highest FPS and lowest latency on PC. Secret Lab, award-winning comfort engineered to support your every move. Experience the ultimate performance gaming seat. HyperX, we're all gamers.
Hey BlizzCon fans, we are about to begin. Please take your seats. Thank you. Welcome back to BlizzCon 2023. Over the next 2 days, there will be a series of 8 panels and presentations showcasing a variety of exciting new games and updates, led by some of Blizzard's amazing creators, artists, and designers. So, to kick it all off, here's our first presentation, World of Warcraft, What's Next?
Four years have passed since the mortal races gathered together in Anaheim, California. And now, the drums of BlizzCon thunder once again. Let me hear the thunder! Yes! Ah! Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here with us today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the World of Warcraft What's Next panel. My name is Taryn Gregory. And as you may have heard, thank you. As you may have heard from Chris during the opening ceremonies, we are at the dawn of a new era of Warcraft. The World Soul Saga. A story that will play out over the next 3 expansions and will take us on an adventure in World of Warcraft
Attention to the map!
we've never experienced before. This saga kicks off chapter, our heroes will be called on an expedition to the subterranean depths of Azeroth, revealing a new world full of mystery, wonder, and darkness. There we will confront the shadows below and face new challenges on the battlefield, as well as in ourselves. So what is next? During this section, I'll share an overview of the story of the War Within, and then next you'll hear from Maria Hamilton, who will speak to zones and cultures. And then wrapping up with Morgan Day, who will talk about dungeons, raids, and our new systems. Let's dig in. In our cinematic reveal, did you guys enjoy the cinematic? Woo! Big shout out to the cinematic team for the work on that. It's incredible work. We witnessed as Thrall found Anduin Wrynn, who has been wandering alone for the last few years, grappling, lost in his own thoughts, and dealing with the experience that he's been through, as many of you may have remembered. Throughout this and our features trailer, we learned 2 very important developments. starting with these visions. Thrall spoke of a vision calling out from the heart of the world, like a voice from the trees. This radiant song will compel our heroes to investigate its origins, and while at the same time, a darkness has been gathered. Even as the heroes adventured on the Dragon Isles, and in the war within, the mysterious harbinger that Rubicon spoke of will reveal themselves. Zalatath has returned.
Hvem har kommet tilbake sånn?
Freed long ago from the black blade that once bound her, she is now the harbinger of a new era of the Void's dark machinations. Her message is clear. The Black Empire has fallen. The old gods are dead. And their ancient blood runs deep within the cracks of the world. We, the heroes of Azeroth, destroyed them. The forces of the Horde and the Alliance have proven time and again they are among the most powerful armies that have ever stood. The Harbinger has watched this. She is patient. And while the Black Empire failed, Zalatath now seeks to set in motion the rise of a new dark legacy. One that knows our true strength and will seek to test it against a new threat of terrible power, the Nerubians of Azj-Kahet. Zalatath has conscripted the Nerubian queen Ansarek, having offered her people a new future, one in which they will rise from their isolation as a mighty kingdom once again. And here in this sprawling city of Azj-Kahet, we will not find the undead soldiers of the Lich King we faced before, but instead a new, mighty stronghold of the Nerubians as they once were. Deadly survivors of the mythic wars that have played out time and again over thousands of years. In return for their loyalty, Zalatath has granted the Nerubians the means of a dark evolution, one that will turn the Nerubians into a new kind of ferocious and terrifying soldier that we will clash against time and again in the war within. Now let's talk about who we'll be adventuring with. How do you like the key art? Several of Azeroth's greatest heroes will rise to the call of the
Yay, nå kan jeg unlocke den.
faced with their own unique challenges.
92 000.
Anduin, having survived his ordeal with
Har du startet
domination.
allerede?
Yes, look at the art. Oh,
Så
incredible artwork. Anduin will be grappling with his relationship to the holy light that he no longer feels worthy of, while Thrall is
da neste Panteren da.
spreading across the world and working to find his new place in the
Går,
Horde.
den
While
tilgjengelig?
Magni Bronzebeard,
Panter
long
F.
of Azeroth, will
Ja,
confront
sånn.
the heavy
Nei.
weight of that
Nå
responsibility
kan du jo
once and for all.
begynne å researche mousen. Kan du ikke?
Champion! The Wounds Champion!
Ser ikke sånn ut. Jeg må unlocke 2 vehicles.
Alaria Windrunner.
Har jo ikke gjort det ennå.
Jeg tok Panter A
Alaria's
og G. Kanskje jeg må kjøpe den.
themes of the war within, as she, a void hunter, will use all of
What?
her
Jeg bare...
to hunt down the Harbinger while being torn between her own
Ja, nå går det.
and the
Jeg måtte kjøpe den andre tanksen først.
Along the adventure, she will have a unique rivalry with Zalatath, whose twists and turns will come to define the nature of this new conflict. Of course, we'll see many more familiar faces
Altså jeg trenger...
and meet a host
Nå er jeg 183 XP inn, så nå har jeg låst den opp, ikke sant?
more about in just a moment.
Nei,
But
jeg har ikke
finally,
noe sterk lenger.
this saga is only just beginning.
Prøv en runde med den der svenske Leon, norske Leon.
Yes! Conceived to be an epic worthy of the first 20 years of World of Warcraft, the World Soul Saga aims to redefine the storytelling in our expansion set and strike boldly at the core themes that define Warcraft. The might of heroes.
Kanskje jeg må finne hvilken knapp som aktiverer infrarød, for den har vel kanskje det.
Justice! Gotta do my best Mets in there. Justice! And the importance of finding common ground as well as ourselves amidst adversity. Up next, may I introduce Maria Hamilton, who will be sharing more about our zones and cultures in the war within. Thank you so much.
Hello, BlizzCon. Wow, I am so excited to be here and delighted to represent our team and tell you about the places that we will explore and the cultures we will encounter in the war within. I can't really see all of you out there. I know there's a lot of you though, because I can hear you. And I hope to hear lots of oohs and ahs when you see some of this cool art I've got to show you. So let's get started. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yep, thank you.
Jeg ble bua ut.
As Taryn mentioned earlier, we'll be called by the Radiant Song, dreamlike visions that come from the heart of the Azeroth. This summons is going to lead us to the subcontinent of Khaz-Algar, a place long forgotten. It's only through recent explorations in Uldaman that we've discovered a Watcher report concerning a contingent of Earthen that was sent to this place.
Så var det blir av vehicle...
In the sector.
Nei.
What exactly that means, we don't really know, but we can
Option.
speculate. So first, let's talk about the Earthen. Ooh, there you go. There you go.
Det var ikke bare option, det var egen for control.
Earthen before, of course, and Ulduar.
Camera control.
This society of Earthen has been isolated within Khaz-Algar for a really long time and have developed their own manners and customs.
Eller...
These Earthen are a bit larger in stature, and they're noticeably blinged out. They've got gems all over them, bedazzled, blinged out, you know, that kind of thing, right? But philosophically, they are guided by the Edicts of the Titans, a set of codified orders, duties, and expectations that provide instructions for the core functions of their society. You know, Titans, order, all that, right? But the Titans have been absent for eons, and the Earthen are no longer united in their adherence to these edicts. They now exist as three groups that are estranged from each other. The Earthsworn, as their name suggests, still uphold the edicts faithfully and believe everyone else is doing it wrong. Their charge is guarding the core way, a Titan passing
IR Spotlight, det den, kanskje? Changing the... jeg må ta Night Vision mode, og så trykke på set. Changing the color scheme of the thermal sight. Set X, tror jeg, for å aktivere. Ja, ground vehicle og weaponry. Og rett over der det står camera control. Så står det Night Vision mode og IR.
They feel neglected and ignored because they have a different opinion on how they should live. Now the machine speakers have shown edicts in practice, but not with respect to their overall obligation to keep the Titan works functioning. They've had extremely limited contact with the surface.
Jeg vil tro det den I hvert fall.
So little disdain for those who just don't understand the great machines. Their homes are built around vast industrial projects under the surface.
Så det noe som heter Commander Sight også, ikke det?
Nei, det noe. Den trenger du da.
Jeg bruker bare sniper mode og binoculars, egentlig. Hva forskjellen mellom...
Når du tar range finding, så stiller den seg inn automatisk.
Nice.
And unite the Earthen society once more.
Det hørtes opp ut.
As a result of our actions, the Earthen will eventually be unlocked.
Vi klare da?
Yep.
Yeah, they look sweet, don't they? Yeah. These player Earthen will replenish the...
Så vi kan spille som de folka der, Earthen?
Or the Alliance. Yeah. It is, of course, player's choice which side you wish to ally with.
Akkurat som Panda, bare...
Sampling of combinations. There's some fantastic variations and customizations coming for the Earthen model.
Ja.
Different gem incrustations, beards for all body types, rocky skin patterns, tones, and more. Now that golden mohawk with the braids and the fringe beard, that's quite the look.
Jeg har Night Vision, men jeg har ikke... ja, ok, jeg kan kun bruke thermal med Gunner.
Another cool culture that players will encounter in
Zoomer den lenger også.
Descendants of the original Arathorian Empire, and they've arrived relatively recently and through some somewhat mysterious circumstances. And they find themselves trapped here within Khazalgar. Mysterious mostly because I can't say anything more about it just yet because of spoilers, but it's not like spooky mysterious, it's the other kind. As a people, the Arathi are worshippers and wielders of holy fire. They are dedicated to bringing hope and light to the darkness. They're tough, resilient people, with every member of the society being an able combatant. Some few are further blessed with paladin-like abilities through their devotion to the light. Even their airships are powered by sacred flame. The extent to which they're comfortable in battle is probably a good thing, because they have established a home away from home in an enormous cavern bordered by an endless underground siege, from which terrifying creatures emerge to rampage and create havoc. Not my idea of a cool place to hang out, but they're really tough. These wandering monstrosities, though, are nothing compared to the threat from below. A constant swarm of Darubians has been held back so far from invading the Arathi lands. The assault is unrelenting, the threat is dire, and the Arathi can't hold much longer. These bastions of light against the darkness are far from home and limited in number. Sure would be terrible if there was also division within the Arathi ranks. Just saying. That would be pretty rough, what with them being so outnumbered.
Ja, jeg har 48 sekunder repair.
Skal jeg hjelpe deg, kanskje?
Alright, speaking of the Nerubians and the war within, we'll explore their last kingdom deep within
Jeg passer på høyre.
Khazalgar. These ancient survivors of the Black Empire who rejected their former masters have developed their own culture here in the deep darkness. As Terran mentioned earlier, Zalatath has made a bargain with the Nerubian queen Ansarek,
Jævlig mye mindre.
who seeks a new future.
Fikk jo penger for det også.
Nerubians are extremely capable and devious adversaries who have been honing their skills.
Og de festet på Norge. Oi, hvor var han da?
But domination hasn't come fast enough for the queen's taste, as the Arathi
Nei. Ok, han.
So this deal with the Harbinger has included some assistance for her troops. Through some dark alchemical process, Zalatath has provided the knowledge
Faen, er det han der da?
to evolve
Langt unna?
Nerubians into paragons of their
Nei.
race, enhancing
close.
their viciousness. And Queen Ansarek has
Ja, da tror jeg jeg ser den.
with enthusiasm and eagerly offered her army to achieve the Harbinger's schemes. It appears to be a win-win situation.
Jeg ser ikke gjennom smoken med IR heller.
For change and her embrace of Zalatath. Shadowy figures with far too many limbs maneuver against the Harbinger's plans in opposition to the Queen's desire. As you might expect, any foray into this Nerubian kingdom introduces us to a variety of citizens, including some forms we've never encountered before. Here's a layout of some of the Nerubian models that are completed and also some that are in progress, as well as scale reference for goblins and humans to just get a sense of size. In addition to the Nerubian citizens, there are also domesticated
Jeg tar artilleri på stillingen hans, så flytter han seg.
and pets. The team is hard at work building out the full range of carapace. I don't know.
Kødder du?
Skittering legs, grabby arms, piercing spiky bits, and creepy eyes for you to enjoy, I guess.
Du har 20 backups. Lol.
At our zones. The surface of Khazalgar is our first zone, called the Isle of Dorn. This is the home of the
shit,
earth and
first.
surface dwellers, as well as other native species of creatures. The fertile soil, flowering plant life, and generous waterways provide nourishment for animals in this untouched paradise. An important facet of Earth and society is cinder brew meat. This volatile substance is manufactured from molten honey produced by enormous fiery bees. Their home groves are a remarkable sight, as the hearts of its bees themselves glow with lava-like fluid. Harvesting is always an exciting time, as the ferocious creatures are understandably protective of their hives. Now the roosts at Storm Watch are wreathed with lightning and fierce winds. These wild elemental rooks may choose to serve a member of the Oathsworn, who if so blessed becomes a Storm Rider, one of the guardian warriors of the Earth and people. The Unbound deal with hostile creatures from time to time, but for their most part, the existence is fairly relatively peaceful, fairly sort of peaceful. Their comfortable homes are often situated near the places where they once labored as adherents to the edicts.
Those sites are now in disrepair and in some cases the lair of other creatures. Of course, the Isle of Dorn boasts a great walled city where the Oathsworn live and serve the edicts of the Titans. The city of Dornagal is the location of many important civic buildings, markets, traders, and crafters. And it's here that a traveler will find the expected amenities of a capital city, as well as the Titan Causeway, the defense of which is the Oathsworn's primary charge. Now, beneath the surface of the Isle of Dorn lies our second zone, the Ringing Deeps.
Er du ikke der?
As the name suggests, it is here
Er du
that
ikke
the
der?
Earthen are engaged in
Bra.
work in accordance with the edicts.
Hvor er du hen?
Jeg er ved A, nesten.
Huge, complicated machines.
Er det noen
Lava-heated
fiender
foundries,
rundt der?
forges, and
Ikke som jeg kan se, det er sikkert han ene da. Og det der er, vet du.
mechanisms and keeping everything running is
Jeg har
both the
bomber.
responsibility and
Ok.
the passion of the machines. The Earth has shifted
Jeg traff han nå, så da.
openings to the sky above to the Isle of Dorn. These cenotes bring light and water into areas once shrouded in darkness. Abundant greenery, flowers,
Nei, kødder du det?
typically dwell in caverns may be found in these idyllic spots. It was really important to us as developers that we delivered the fantasy of the hard-working industry, but still had some break-up areas of natural beauty that don't feel like dark,
Se da,
constrained
det går.
tunnels. Now, as the machine speaker
Nei, jeg
population
bomba.
has dropped,
Totalt.
they've had increasing difficulties with cobalt incursions.
Nå har du sånn bombefly her også.
over the mines, the work areas,
Den ligner på det andre.
Unexpectedly, the kobolds are actually becoming a force to be reckoned with under the aggressive actions of their leader, the Candle King. You knew it had to be a candle. No take candle. No take candle. With the passage of time, the Earthen have diminished both in number and in the knowledge required to perform the various routines to tune and repair the processes. The old ways have been forgotten, and new creative methods must be employed if the edicts are to be obeyed. So they're kind of making it up as they go along. From the Ringing Deeps, we descend further into Khazalgar to reach Hollowfall, a vast hollow area in the earth, bordered by an endless underground sea. This tenuous foothold under the bright light of an enormous crystal has allowed the
Et
Arathi to
skudd der du har som
survive,
første valg på
using their airships to travel to
tanksen
high
din.
plateaus and establish docks,
Hva tenker du, skudd eller?
and even a
Ja,
priory.
hvilken type skudd er du har som første?
Nei, nå hadde jeg den der, jeg har ikke gjort noe egentlig.
Strive to keep
Nei,
hope
du
alive
bør
and
flytte
spread
spikeren
the
først.
light, while engaged in a near
Okay.
constant battle with the Nerubians at their
Ja, jeg regnet med det, for det er han russeren skjøt meg med hver gang.
the bright light and the green
Men det er ikke eksplosiv i den?
were on the surface.
Nei,
Somehow, rather than in this
men
sort of
den er
strange
mye bedre
hollow
enn
within Azeroth,
Hesh.
the crystal provides brilliant
Jeg
light,
har
warmth, and growth for
15 spikere, og så har jeg 5 av de
You may
2 andre.
notice that all
Okay.
blooming plants have opened their blossoms toward the light and seem to be reaching in that direction whenever they're in Hollowfall. Unfortunately, the crystal sun has been changing in recent years. Where once the light was steady and reliable, it now fades without warning, plunging the Arathi into darkness, save where they have built light towers and maintain their holy flame beacons. In the absence of this light, the dangerous Kobis and other fierce creatures emerge from the sea to rampage. As the Arathi are barely holding back the Nerubians, these unpredictable episodes are incredibly demoralizing and deadly. Happily, the light has always returned to the crystal. So far. And at the deepest descent in the war within, we reach the zone of Azj-Kahet. That almost rhymes. Anyway, the Nerubian city of Threads has been built on the ruins of itself, over and over and over again.
Jeg fikk ny
As areas decay and crumble,
profilikon fordi jeg slåss battle against other players. Hæ?
climbs ever higher. Those Nerubians favored by the queen,
Er det fordi jeg spilte som svensk, kanskje?
or both, command the greatest
kills.
views and live in the highest places.
Assist bare.
of the many districts. The Burrows is the home of the
Det er vel din assist når du fikk kill.
deep in the decay and the filth. The Umbral Bazaar is a trading hub of fine silk,
Blåst opp IKV 72.
discoveries, and other exotic and hard to find goods. The Skanes are the home of the lore keepers and scholars who toil to maintain the history of their people and research myths and legends of Azeroth. There are many other
Altså, jeg skal gå tilbake til
neighborhoods, both well known and secret, that the careful adventurer could discover, should they risk life and limb to do so. But the key to such exploration is fitting in among the Nerubians and being accepted, an enterprise both best accomplished through skill in the use of pheromones and considerable bravery. The zone of Aj Kahet features areas of spectacular dark beauty that are inhabited by these creatures that have found a way to live among the Nerubians without being deemed a threat, found to be particularly tasty to consume, or just too much fun to torment. The mobilization of forces to assault the Arathi while also providing military might to achieve Xalatath's schemes has stirred up all sorts of inhabitants of the darkness. And deep within the city itself, the Nerubians are gathering an odd substance, the black blood of the old gods, for some unknown purpose. But I'm sure that's fine. And now I'd like to talk a little bit about our zone flow. As I mentioned, awesome, huh? We travel from the Isle of Dorn into the Ringing Deeps, into Hollowfall, and then into Aj Kahet. In the War Within, all of our zones are connected all together using the airlock technology that we developed for Zarelek Cavern, allowing for this seamless descent from the Isle of Dorn all the way to Aj Kahet. That was video I just captured last week of the transition between the Ringing Deeps and Hollowfall. As you can see, we built for dynamic flight, and we were able to flow directly between the zones without the load screen. There is some seriously amazing swoopy goodness to be had moving across these zones and through these spaces. It feels so cool to burst out of a really tight area and into just a huge drop like that. It's this blobby map that I've got up here was an early attempt during
Altså, jeg
development
bare fikser med serveren litt, da, så jeg får den.
how we would stack these zones together and achieve the relationship between their geography and geometry that made sense and felt great to traverse. We ended up with something slightly different than this, but this is pretty representative to explain what the world builders were thinking about when they planned these spaces out. It was really important to our design that while 3 of the 4 zones are technically underground, they didn't feel that way, and that they were distinctly different from one another. We pursued that goal by introducing the natural cenotes in the Ringing Deeps and leaning into the fantasy of the classic underground foundry and industrial workspaces. So even in the zone that felt the tightest, there's places that look as though they're actually on the surface. And within Hollowfall, we created a massive hollow space in a cavern so vast it feels like an exterior, with a huge artificial sun in the form of a gigantic crystal. And in Aj Kahet, we leaned hard into traditional Nerubian architecture with hanging nests and huge palaces built all over a decaying city that just falls away into the depths. And that is the last bit of eye candy I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this peek at what we've got in development. So now it's time for me to introduce you to Morgan Day, who's going to give you lots of information about dungeons, raids, and systems. Enjoy. Thanks very much. Bye.
Hæ?
Gå vekke Nina.
Skal du ikke sove?
Nå hadde jeg tenkt å handle.
Ah.
Sovne når jeg legger guttene, så...
My name is Morgan Day, and I'm here to talk to you
Oh.
about some of the upcoming content, features, and systems in The War Within. I'm sure I'll also make some funny faces that I'll regret later in thumbnails, but whatever. First up, let's talk about dungeons. There will be 8 new dungeons coming in The War Within, 4 during level up, 1 in each of the 4 zones that Maria just walked us through, as well as 4 at max level. There's a lot of really cool stuff happening in these dungeons. For instance, we have like a kobold dungeon where you'll meet that Candle King, where there's like a light mechanic that takes place. You have to kind of keep it going to light your way. There's a dragon riding dungeon, of course, but also one of my favorites is the Cinderbrew Meadery that Maria just talked us through. So this is a dungeon that takes place on our first zone, the Isle of Dorn, which is where you'll experience, all of our earthen buddies, and this is the place where they make that cinder brew mead that she was talking about. They take in all that honey that they gather from throughout the zone to make the mead, to do all kinds of fun and/or nefarious things with. Although I do have to say, I feel like they're a little bit behind the times. I feel like all the kids are drinking that, hard seltzer or something these days, but whatever. They're old school, I get it. Next up, our raid, the Nerubar Palace. So this is an 8-boss raid that will take place in the zone of Aj-Kahet. And this is really the culmination of all of those machinations we keep hearing about that we see play out between the Nerubian Empire, their queen, and her collaboration with Xalatath. So for this next one, we don't normally show things this early, but I thought it'd be cool to share. On the left there, you can kind of see the top-down view of the raid, and on the right, it's more of like a side cutout. So we like to work on all of our dungeons and raids when they still look like this, as it's much easier to iterate while we're in 2D than it is to kind of change the zones around once we're in the game and it's all blocked out. So to step us through the raid really quickly, after barging through the front door, you'll very quickly fall and/or get knocked into one of those giant pits of that black blood of the old god that you'll hear much more about in Aj-Kahet. And then you'll battle your way through the harvest pits, and then finally traverse your way back up through the stalactite wing, which is not a final name, I promise, until you finally fight your way into the Queen's inner sanctum, where you'll come face to face with her as the end boss. So as you can see, this will kind of feel like a winged raid in terms of the vibes, but in terms of the player experience, it'll actually be quite a bit more linear than what you might be used to for a raid with some winged vibes. So something that I also think is fun to talk about really quick is with all of our dungeons and raids, we like to try to explore what is the thing that's going to make this space feel really unique, that's going to make it stand out from all the other times that we've built these dungeons and raids. And with this space, we really thought that, given that we have the Nerubian to play with, they've got all these amazing webs and silken threads that you can kind of traverse the zone through, we thought it'd be really fun to explore verticality as a major element to this raid. So I think that'll be really fun to see what the team comes up with for that. Next up, let's talk about systems. So I want to walk you through some of our features and systems at a really high level, but first I want to talk about some of the philosophies that are really guiding us to add these into the War Within. So first and foremost, we really want to continue to extend the philosophies of Dragonflight into the War Within. And really, when we talk about that, there's 3 main pillars that I want to touch on. First, we really want to make sure that we're focusing on evergreen features. We want to make sure that we're making World of Warcraft better forever and not focusing on things that we know we're going to have to leave behind as we move into future expansions. Next, we want to make sure that there's something for everyone. So whether you're a hardcore raider, a PvPer, a collector, or apparently like Holly, you just love to play tons of alts and run around the world exploring things, we want to make sure that there's something in War Within that you can really geek out over and that resonates with you. And finally, we want to make sure that we're continuing to build on our philosophy and build on our systems and content with people who play multiple characters in mind. We want to make sure... Woo! We want to make sure that we're building all of our systems to really respect the time of the player behind the keyboard and not focusing so much on the accomplishments of that individual character. So let's talk about delves. Delves are a new feature that will be integrated into the outdoor world experience, where the fantasy of these is actually that you'll be joining the Dragonscale expedition in their search for lost treasures all across Khazalgar. So delves are an evergreen feature that is really integrated into that outdoor world experience. We want delves to be a new pillar of endgame content for those outdoor world explorers. We really view this as something like when we added world quests back in Legion, where they are going to be really integrated and transformative into that outdoor world, especially that endgame loop. So one of the main reasons I'm stoked about delves is that these will provide an opportunity for us to give seasonal content and rewards to those outdoor world explorers. So that means things like rewards that you're used to, like mounts, achievements, titles, but we'll also be adding a outdoor row to the Great Vault with War Within. So that all of you Outdoor World explorers will be able to share in the joy of rushing to the Great Vault every week to collect your loot. And there will also be 13 unique delves that we'll be launching War Within with. And delves will scale from 1 to 5 players and be role agnostic. So that means if you want to play a delve solo, that's totally cool. If you want to go with you and your partner, that works as well. Or you can bring your whole dungeon group in, and the delve will scale based on your group size and your roles. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention one of my favorite features of delves, which I think Maria alluded to earlier, which is that there will be an NPC companion joining you on all of your adventures. So for season 1, that'll be Bran Bronzebeard, as you can see. And Bran will be tagging along with you on all of your delve adventures and will totally never, not even once, aggro a pack of monsters that you didn't want him to. And I don't have my fingers crossed behind my back right now. So Bran will have a customizable talents and mechanics and abilities that you'll be able to kind of load out to suit your playstyle and needs. So, maybe you need a little bit of extra healing. Well, you can load Bran out to provide that for you. And finally, you wouldn't be exploring with the Dragon Scale Expedition if at the end of every delve there wasn't this massive treasure trove that we need Bran to open for us, which hopefully brought a couple of keys to open some of the chests in there. But before Bran can open that vault for you, you'll need to maybe defeat a boss, maybe you'll solve a couple puzzles, something like that, and then Bran will be able to open that vault door for you. Next up, let's talk about warbands. It's happening! So warbands are a system that we're introducing that will really be the representation of all of your characters across your Battle.net account. Warbands are an opportunity for us to create a platform where you can share your achievements, resources, and all that other good stuff across all of those characters. So the goal of this system is really to be that representation of the philosophy shift that I mentioned earlier about really respecting the time of the player behind the keyboards and not those individual characters. There's actually a ton of additions and modifications. We've talked about a few here. There's no singular UI screen that says warbands. It's more of all these modifications and updates and features are kind of wearing a big coat that says warbands on the back of it. It's how I kind of keep it straight in my head. But just to talk about a couple of those cool features, we'll actually be revisiting the transmog rules of how you acquire those appearances in the War Within. So for all of you who have So that means all of you who have probably had to run 4 characters through all of those legacy instances just to make sure you're collecting all the appearances, that won't be the case anymore in War Within. You'll just be able to run it with 1 character. Holly mentioned this already, but this is obviously one that people are looking forward to. All of our reputations as well as renown in the War Within will be shared across your entire account. Last but not least, let's talk about hero talents. So here's a quick mock-up of what the UI will look like that I think really helps explain how these integrate into our current talent trees. But really quick, let's take a look at how this will work. So there will be 3 new hero talent trees per class, and 2 will be available per specialization that you can freely choose and swap between. And also, this is another evergreen feature. This is a system that we think is going to provide a new vector of choice and customization for you and all of your classes, as well as create opportunities for us to really dig into some of those core class fantasies that are, so amazing. So hero talents will introduce these new, small, self-contained talent trees like you just saw in the UI. And the way I like to think about it is currently we have 2 types of talent points, right? We have class talent points and specialization talent points. And now in the War Within, there'll be a third type called hero talent points. So let's look at a quick example, which hopefully explains it a little bit more. This is a warrior, as you can see. These are the 3 hero talent trees that they'll have available: Mountain Thane, Colossus, and Slayer. And as you can see in the top left, we have Protection, who will be able to choose between Mountain Thane and Colossus. Up on the right, you see Fury. Yep, that's right. Mountain Thane and Slayer are their options. And down at the bottom, Colossus and Slayer are their options. So this is how the majority of our classes are going to look in the War Within. The exception, of course, being Druids and Demon Hunters, who are a bit special, so theirs will look a little different. So let's take a look at how you'll unlock the system, as well as how it'll feel playing through as you're leveling through the War Within. So the system will automatically unlock at level 71, and it'll just kind of appear in your UI. You'll earn 1 talent point per level as you level from 71 to 80. And there are 10 talent points in total, with several choice nodes along the way. So I like to think of this as being similar to like the Legion artifact, where as you were leveling and progressing, you were making some choices along the way, but ultimately you're going to unlock the whole tree. And also, I want to be very clear here. These are extremely low friction to swap between those choice nodes, as well as to swap between the different hero talent trees. So, this should be very analogous to your current talent trees and will follow all the same rules that you used to there. So, at the start of a raid boss, before a Mythic Plus starts, before an arena match kicks off, and anywhere in between. And to wrap us up, I wanted to show off a really quick video of what hero talents look like in action. So this is a warrior, as you can see, pop an avatar, jumping in. And this next one is that same warrior with the Mountain Thane talent tree. As you can see, Stormbolt hits multiple targets. There's a couple cool new V effects, and a lot of other cool stuff going on there as well. I heard some oohs. Ooh. Our effects artists will be happy. So that about wraps us up for our What's Next panel. We hope you really liked what you saw here, and if you'd like to know more, please join us tomorrow at the Deep Dive panel at noon, where Ian will walk you through some of what you saw today in more detail. Woo, Ian! As well as a bunch of other cool new stuff in the War Within. So thank you all so much. I hope you have a great BlizzCon. Bye!
BlizzCon 2023 would like to thank our partners. Xbox, power your dreams. Omen, game life. HTC Vive Mars, virtual production made simple. Intel, push your gameplay beyond performance with 13th Gen Intel Core processors. Check out MSI's wide array of monitors, from Nobel Prize-winning quantum dot technology to 4K OLED panels. They've got you covered. And the beneficiary of BlizzCon's charity auction is Direct Relief.
Whatever you can do. We beg you.
Will you save us?
Will you make them suffer?
Can your shadow be our light?
Will you fight the darkness?
Please end their terror.
Ja, nå får Blizzard vist frem litt, nei, Xbox vist frem litt reklame nå.
Trying my best to do some good out there. But it didn't take long to realize that, with the right friends, everything would change.
Step aside. You don't know who you're messing with.
They knew the townsfolk were up to something sinister.
Let's move!
Right behind you!
And it was like a powder keg, waiting to explode.
We did it! No.
Oh, nuts. As it turned out, I had the right backup waiting for me. Just when I needed it.
Let's do this.
You got it, partner.
I didn't intentionally pursue leadership.
I'm gonna punch ya!
Candle butt slider.
Sleeping like a rock! Let's show these fine folks some Badland hospitality!
Well, looking for a standoff? Careful, it's against me.
You're here to tell me we don't get to hide. Is that it?
You needed time. We stayed away. But time by itself heals nothing.
You didn't just come here for me. It's the visions. You've seen them.
I suspect many have lately. Something, someone, is calling out from the heart of the world. Like a voice from a dream. Something dark is coming, Anduin. The world needs your light again. My son.
Fy faen, ganske fancy den traileren viser nå, ass.
I'm not that person anymore. I have no light. Not after what I've seen. Not after what I've done.
You are not your past, Anduin. I trust you.
Hvorfor lager de ikke video i 2 timers film med den kvaliteten her, da?
Hear me.
They're getting worse. Look, whatever's coming, I'll stand with you. Of course I will. But we were drawn here by the voice. Who is it?
Så sur han der.
Who's calling out to us?
I'm not sure yet. But that sword was aimed at someone.
Var ikke det som skjedde i Warcraft 3, ja? Nei. Hvordan var det igjen da? Nei, det var en expansion hvor det var en sånn kjempe som kastet det sverdet.
World of Warcraft, da.
Ja, stemmer det.
Det var han der Sargeras.
Ja, stemmer det.
Hvis han gjør det før han ble banna.
Ja. HyperX, ja, det er bra headset. Cloud 3, Jeg bruker kabler, jeg skal ikke ha trådløs.
BlizzCon 2023 would like to thank our partners. Omen, Game Life. Xbox, power your dreams. Mountain Dew Game Fuel Mystic Punch. Redeem points for gaming rewards and exclusive items in Diablo 4. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 40 series and NVIDIA Reflex, the highest FPS and lowest latency on PC. Secret Lab, award-winning comfort engineered to support your every move. Experience the ultimate performance gaming seat. HyperX, we're all gamers.
What a day. It's good to be alive. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I wasn't always the friendly, carefree guy you see before you today. I used to take things very seriously. I never had time for fun. One day I realized something had to change. I needed to work on me. Now I've got a whole new outlook on life. I realized that it's okay to put myself first. Found out that I have a knack for bringing people together. Whoa! And I learned how to let loose with friends. I work hard. And I play hard. So, I only have one question for you. Ready to have some fun?
What's up, everybody? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm excited. It's great to be here. But, you know, working on our Overwatch hero takes a full team. And I'm thrilled to introduce some of the amazing people who helped bring him to life. We have Kyunso, our narrative designer. Alec Dawson, our lead hero designer. Foster, senior test analyst. And the amazing Rakan, our senior character artist. Okay, so we could probably talk about Malga or any panel forever, but we only have like 45 minutes, so let's just jump right into it. Kyunso, let us know a little bit about Malga's backstory.
Of course. As Dion mentioned during the opening ceremony, people have been fans of Malga or manga for a very long time. We've released 6 heroes with Overwatch 2, and for most of them, if not all, people have been speculating if it was going to be manga. But here's a very quick introduction of him for anyone who doesn't know who he is. He was originally introduced in 2019 in the second Overwatch short story, What You Left Behind, written by Alyssa Wong. It's a story that follows Baptiste, and Manga makes quite the appearance. Manga and Baptiste worked for Talon, and they were pretty close friends before Baptiste left. And Manga made an immediate impact.
They are kind of like frenemies.
Yeah. I mean, look at him. Look at that sly, self-satisfied grin. He's just a guy who wants to have fun. Woo! Yeah, that's right. But be careful. Behind his grin, there's always a threat. and he uses his big jockey personality to hide his cunning side. One of my favorite lines in that short story is when he just goes, "It gets real Shakespearean up in here." He's our first Samoan hero, and we worked really hard to get that right. Throughout his development, the team worked with 3 cultural consultants, and they also helped us refine the Samoa map. And beyond the cultural consultants, we also worked with the brilliant Samoan tattoo artist, C.E. Lufau, to get his tattoo just right, because they have such a huge cultural significance in Samoan culture. It represents their heritage, their past, present, and future. So we knew we had to get this right.
Yeah, it was interesting when we first started to dig into the tattoo. We had done some drawings where Omnics were tattooing on Mauga's back. And once we started to work with CE, he was like, a tattoo is something that a human transfers to a Samoan.
It's a sacred experience,
right.
Yeah.
And so he had given us his feedback that the depiction of a robot or something without a soul basically transferring a tattoo was not the right thing. And so this was what's so fun about meeting these different people, the different culture experts. They really worked hand in hand with the character artists and the narrative designers. And just, we had fun figuring this out. And Mauga's such a fun and unique hero. This includes his lore, the art, the design history, his abilities. As you all have either played him already on the show floor or at home, because you could play him right now, you should get you kind of get what you're actually experiencing with him. So, to talk a little bit more about the abilities, Alex, you want to break it down what his gameplay is like?
Yeah, let's talk about Mauga and sort of what he brings as a tank to Overwatch. His style gameplay, he can either charge in alone or he can go with his team, right? Because he's this big, high threat level who sustains through dealing damage. And that's how he's really unlike a lot of the other tanks is, he has this passive that actually keeps him up as he deals critical damage. So it's one of the things where he's constantly in the fight, he's brawling, he's destructive, because that's the way he is keeping himself alive and in the fight. Another thing he does is his guns are hit scan. When developing Mauga, the team really wanted to look at a tank that could counter Pharah or Echo and have an ability to actually contest them while they're in the air from afar or even up close. So when looking at Mauga, there was a few things the team really wanted to get right. And talking with Josh Snow, our lead balance designer and the point designer for Mauga, he talks about the guns being core to this hero. Mauga is one of those kits, say like Widowmaker, where the gun comes first and then all the rest of the abilities follow. Along with his weapons though, we also wanted to make sure we could have abilities for a character of this size. Mauga is huge. He's huge in game, as you may have already seen. He's the biggest hero that we have in the game so far. So what do you have to do to compensate for that size? He's a big...
Faen, må formatere harddisken nå. Herregud da. Nei, jeg må formatere den harddisken. Prøve litt mer Tyskland da. Prøve litt mer Tyskland.
Okay.
I mentioned earlier that his name Mauga means mountain in Samoan, so we had no choice but to make him big. And as you guys touched on it, he has this. I really like his playstyle. It's very. It feels brutal, but there's a lot of strategy behind the approach. And Overwatch heroes aren't just about their abilities. We take great pride in their personalities too. In the short story that you mentioned.
Jeg burde vel kanskje låse opp tankser som på samme nivå, som bare venter med å ta et mouse til jeg kommer til nivå 5.
Ja, for det. Da har du i hvert fall muligheten til å få den. Det var det som var det viktigste.
Ja.
Bedre å fokusere på en fullstendig line-up på BR-er.
Ja. Kanskje ta Panzer 4 da.
Jeg har jo... På Tyskland så har jeg en line-up på rundt 2,3, 3,3, 4, 5,3, 5,7, 6,0 denne her, så det 6,7 nå. Også topp.
We kept coming back to Mauga's personality, and that he's this big guy, He's smart, he's
De
very
har
aggressive.
sørget for å ha
And
liksom
even if he had the ability to psychically
fulle
throw
line-uper da.
a boulder at you, he wouldn't. He would pick it up. It's a show of force to pick up.
Kanskje du skal gå opp til, fordi jeg må researche stygglinja, sånn at jeg får den rakett-tanksen.
Perspective, that wasn't really working out, so we kind of drew that back, and we released Sigma. We pivoted to Sigma there, and then for manga, we just went back to the drawing board and thought more, how can we nail down this personality type? How do we make
Kanskje det blir da nivå... Marder 3 har jeg. Stu 42G har jeg ikke. Jo, den... Jo, jeg har det faktisk. Stug 3F har jeg. Er det Stug 3G jeg ikke har da? Ok, så det blir nivå 3,7 i hvert fall. Tyskland. Og så har jeg ikke Dicke Max heller. Altså heller ikke Panserkampfwagen 38 tonn, men den trenger jeg vel ikke å låse opp.
Let's get into his specific abilities. He has these massive chain guns, Gunny and Cha-Cha, some of my favorites. Alex, what do they bring to the fight?
Yeah, so he has these
Og så er det altså 3,7 er det høyeste.
So let's watch the video to take a look at these in action real quick. So you have his incendiary chain gun, his left quick, that sets opponents on fire. It takes 10 hits to set the opponent on fire, so they'll be in a burning state, where they become vulnerable to his right click, his volatile chain gun. And when you deal damage with that, it deals critical damage. This is pretty important because whenever Malga deals critical damage, whether it be through volatile chain gun or through headshots, he actually gains temporary health as well. So this is a part that we really wanted to get right in its development, where there was this mini game between both of the guns. It allows Malga to play at actually different types of ranges. Malga can play really up close, rail on both guns at the same time, or he can be a little bit pokey sometimes. A little bit of left click, a little bit of right click.
Nei, faen, 3,3 er det her faktisk. Nei, jeg har en Panzer 4H, den er 3,7.
Skal vi spille på 3,3, eller?
Ja, hvis jeg skal låse opp det som hvis jeg skal låse opp eller nei, vet du.
Jo lavere ned du kan gå, jo mer poeng får du jo.
Ja.
Det kommer an på hva du har lyst til å spille også. Hvis du har lyst til å spille de tidligere, så er det helt greit, ja.
3,3, ja. Den må jeg låse opp, og så kan jeg fortsette med... Eller, vet du. Ja, skal vi ta 3,3 da, den har jeg...
Fordi du har lyst til å spille nå på 3,3, eller fordi du har lyst til å låse?
Nei, fordi jeg har lyst til å låse opp jagpanserlinja, og da må jeg...
Men vi må ikke spille på 3,3 for å låse den opp.
Jeg må låse opp stug 3. Den har jeg ikke, og så hvis jeg skal prøve å velge jagpanser 4, så står det at man researcher den ovenfor.
Ja. Men er det en begrensning på hva du kan spille når du skal låse opp ting i World of Tanks, eller?
Ja, der er det enda strengere. Der er det sånn at du skal ha den... Skal du ha tanks C, så må du gå først gjennom A og B.
Ja, men jeg tenker på hva du kan spille mens du låser det opp.
Ja, du må tjene XP til den foregående tanksen for å bruke, for å låse opp, så kjøpe tanksen. Og så må du...
Måten du tjener de poengene på,
ja.
Det er det samme hva du spiller.
Nei, du må spille den tanksen foran.
Ok, det må du ikke her.
Nei.
Du får en bonus fra den tanksen foran.
Ok.
Men hvis du spiller, altså hvis du skal låse opp nå på 3,3 da,
Mm.
du spiller en tanks på 7-0, så tjener du jævlig mye mer enn hvis du spiller på 3-0 på tanksen som er rett før.
Altså man tjener jo høyere man spiller, jo mer får man?
Ja.
Ok.
Du kan prøve en på lavere BR, så kan du sammenligne.
Mm. Ta 3,3, og da, nei 3,7, what? Virvelvinden er på 3,7. Gjerne den da.
And fun fact about these guns, they are the biggest guns in the game, but they are also the biggest guns in the game. So, you know,
Hva er det høyeste du har da? 3,3?
I want to say a huge shout
Ja.
out to Mauga Strike Team. I know your guys are out there, and especially Jeff Mianowski for the awesome work that he did on the character. Yep. And also for the tech team, especially John Curran, who did an incredible job with adding new technology to Mauga, which I'm going to say some big words now, so focus with me. Mauga has the first fully automatic muscle system in his body. We've never done that before. So while he's moving his arm, you see the bicep. I mean, don't look.
Men uansett, hvis du låser opp noe treigere, så vil du jo da også tjene mer sølv enn du bruker opp, og du er jo på minus i sølv.
Mm.
Så du vil jo ikke prøve å unlocke ting raskere egentlig.
Nei.
So technically Mauga's running around holding two tracers like that. That's why they're orange.
Jeg spiller jo ofte på lavere BR enn det jeg låser opp, for å låse det opp treigere, sånn at jeg tjener mer sølv samtidig.
Ja.
Eller det var det jeg gjorde da, nå har jeg jo 7 millioner, så jeg behøver ikke akkurat å tenke på penger.
Nei.
Så bare spiller jeg det jeg har lyst til å spille.
I know you guys love the whole thing to be clear as possible, so we fixed it. And, if you think about like Tracer and Reaper, they have two guns, right? But Mauga's gun is, I would say, a little bit bigger than these guns. So that's why that issue showed up when we did these guns, and we just edited it, and hopefully now it just looks perfect.
Oh.
You guys will love it.
And beyond his guns, his ability Overrun is also quite fun. Let's see a video of it in action.
Aufsetzen! Los, los, los! Gefechtsbereitschaft herstellen! Fahrer bereit! Hilfsstütze bereit! Nachrichtenstütze bereit!
Det som skjer i rektoren.
Hva faen, du har den, ja. Den har jeg også. Den kunne jeg brukt.
Jeg vet ikke om den er bra på den delen her da.
Hvilken?
Den er en lavere.
Ok.
Jeg kan møte 2 over. Nei, jeg ble litt mer rask.
He was dealing
Yoink.
critical damage to any enemy in the air. So you would throw them behind you, you'd turn around, you'd actually use Sigma's Rock as a combo back then.
Morsomt med taket på en greie her.
I really like this version that we ended up with. You know, it's something that
Another zone captured, we have the advantage.
Crit, da.
Oi, du tok den. Funka den da? Da kommer det til. What? Da var han ikke, han andre tok den.
Alongside his, we can't forget his shark slippers, because Maga likes to relax in style.
I need a pair of those.
Yeah, thank you to the Environment Art team, because they always take my silly ideas and just run questions.
Speaking of shark canisters and shark slippers, that brings us to his ultimate, cage fight. So, for his ultimate, Maga deploys a barrier, and along with it, as you can see in the middle of a totem that traps everyone inside that barrier with it. So, any enemies that are captured isolate all of them with him, for him to be able to take them on 1v1, 1v3, 1v5 if you're feeling spicy. Attention to the designated grid square. Barrier around it, which means the rest of the team might be locked off for them, and it keeps them inside, which can prevent them from getting where they need to go. So the biggest challenge when developing Cage Fight was keying into having players understand what this ult does and how it works. And so we developed it with these chains that are very visible and hold you in place so you know you're trapped and you know you really need to defend yourself against this man who's coming at you with you trapped in here with him. And we have a video for that. So as you can see, when he deploys it, the Rhinos are chained with him within this barrier. He can unload on them. You also might notice that there's limited ammo during this ultimate, so people are trapped in short range with you, and you may as well request air support.
They have to be quite versatile, depending on the situation, the team composition, the state of the battle.
What? Skal ikke skyte gjennom gjerdet der? Hva er det bullshit da? Hvor- Han kommer mot han nå, tror jeg. Der cirka kommer det en sånn lav tanks, antitanks.
As you guys can see, the team really put a lot of love and care into these heroes, but now it feels extra special. We really went that extra mile to make sure you can hold out. I wanted to talk to you guys just really quickly.
Yeah. Well, it's just been an honor to work on one of the most anticipated games of the World War II. There, the foundation is so strong. Enemy forces have captured the zone. Well done. We're controlling most of the zones. And I think we all sort of remarked on this when we were talking with all of the Samuel and Soldier consultants. Let's keep it going. Victory is close. We're all just so hold out. Wow. And we were all really inspired by that. So I think you could really see it in the hero. You know, he's just a big guy. He wants to have fun, and we really wanted to instill that part of the culture into the game.
Yeah, I'm very excited. People are playing Naga right now. That's incredible. But I think one of the biggest things taken away from Naga we also switched Naga for Matra to have more time on Naga in particular. It was just the team taking the time to make sure that this hero in particular came out in the best iteration possible. So shout out to Josh No and the rest of the Naga Strike team for what we're going to release in Season 8.
Ausgezeichnete Arbeit, Kameraden!
Applause. Season 8. Josh, no. So.
Ja, nå fikk jeg 1768 bare. Det er for halvparten så lite da.
Overwatch heroes is how big and bold and over the top they are. Their personalities as well as, you know, abilities in a video game. And Maga, I think, really nails that kind of big, bold personality that I love in our heroes. He's out there, he's open, he's big. And when we nail that really well, they become charismatic beyond the kinds of people they may actually be. So the previous hero that did this for me was Junker Queen. Junker Queen is this big, bold personality. Even though she's not the greatest person overall, you really connect with her and her personality and how big she is. And what? I love Junker. Have you seen what she does to Omnix?
Enric. Oh, sorry.
So, I think Maga also nails that, where despite what he does and his work with Talon and the kind of person he is, he's so big and lovable that you just really want to connect with him, and you do, and you enjoy playing him as a hero, as a person, as much as a tool set that really works with you in gameplay.
Well, I gotta say, Maga is probably one of my favorite heroes for now. Like design-wise, I love it, and like getting to work on his guns and just seeing the process of how they started to the end, like how all the challenges that we got and how we just, you know, got through all of them and we got the final designs. That was just I will never forget that experience. And his personality, as Foster said, is incredible. I love him, and I need to know his workout routine, obviously. Like, look at that guy. Yeah, it's been an incredible journey working on this here, for sure.
That's awesome. And yeah, for me, I kind of mentioned earlier in open ceremony, whenever we make an Overwatch hero, we really want people to see themselves in our hero. This guy looks like someone I know. He looks like me, or his abilities are super fun to play. And I think we really nailed this with Mauga. And Overwatch in general is this globe-trotting adventure. You're traveling the world, you're meeting these different characters, these different heroes.
Oi.
Valgte feil ting.
And thank you to all you guys.
Panzergranate geladen. Panzergranate geladen. Panzer! 12 Uhr! Entfernung 450 Meter! Panzergranate geladen. Panzergranate geladen. Panzer! 12 Uhr! Entfernung 450 Meter! Panzergranate geladen! Panzergranate geladen.
Du daua?
Det ble litt.
Ja.
Panzergranate geladen. Panzergranate geladen. Wir wurden getroffen. Wir wurden getroffen. Attention to the map.
Attention to the map.
Wir wurden getroffen.
Attention to the designated grid square.
Wir getroffen.
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
Gjør du det nå?
Mhm. Kjører den rakettanksen. Å fy faen, de har forbedret siktet den her nå, ass. Nå kan jeg faktisk... Oi. LOL! Det er kaos. Jeg fikk killet fordi han prøvde å drepe meg, altså.
Attack the A point. Attack hostile troops. Attention to the map.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
Attack the A point.
Attention to the designated grid zone. If we don't do something fast, the enemy...
Nei, kommer det til å gå I stykker nå? Eller kanskje ikke. Yay!
We've lost. But next time, victory will be ours.
Kan vel egentlig kanskje bare fokusere på bombeflyet da, for å tjene penger.
Det kan vi gjøre.
Ta det noen runder I hvert fall, så det bombefly. Bytta det for deg nå, til fly.
Jeg får på med kjøpning.
Ja.
Men nok dritt. Har ikke skiftet til hos meg ennå. Bedre litt. I'm back.
Tilbake.
Mm. Jeg var litt sjuk I dag, så jeg fikk potetgull.
Hørtes ikke feil ut.
Nå pleier vi fiske til I morgen, sånn at jeg kan bli med I morgen.
Ja, sånn da.
Har du noen sølvbooster da?
Ja, det har jeg vel. Jeg bare går litt bedre AFK her.